G'day, I'm Peter Fritz, and thanks for hanging out with this fat middle-aged photographer to talk about life and landscape photography. This week, taking photos that make you happy. Why is it important? And what does it actually mean? Well, I reckon there are three essential sources of happiness. One of them is acknowledgement, being recognised by our peers, our contemporaries, even strangers, especially today with social media. Being told that we're doing it right, that we're doing well, that we're awesome, whatever it is, whatever that floats our boat. Being acknowledged by others is a huge source of motivation for a lot of people. The second is accomplishment. This is a bit meatier, of course. It's setting yourself an objective of some kind, overcoming challenges, making progress, getting better at something, doing something you weren't sure that you could do. As Seth Godin says, knowing that this might not work, but being fine with that. And the third, which is a bit fluffier and more woo-woo, is presence. This is probably bordering on wisdom. And it's something which a lot of us would love to experience a lot more often. To just be present in our surroundings. To be like a kid who is laying in a field, looking up at the clouds, making shapes out of them. So I'm sure there are plenty of other sources of happiness in life, but I reckon that most of them tend to fall into one of those three categories, is being recognised, achieving something, and being present in our surroundings. So the question is, which one drives our decisions when it comes to photography, indeed anything? Which one has a tendency to endure? And which one do we have the most control over? Life is bloody short, if you haven't figured that out already. And with any of us, it could be over any old time. We had an earthquake here recently. I thought I was going to die, sitting upstairs on the toilet when the house started to shake. Anything could happen. Even if I lived to the ripe old age of, my dad's age, 85, that's only 1,660 weeks left to live. So, life is short. But not only is life short, life is an incredible fluke as well. And I think this is lost on a lot of people. Familiarity breeds contempt. We're all used to being alive. We're all used to being here. But the reality is, my chance of being born, and yours too, is apparently something like 1 in 400 trillion, which makes sense if you think about it, because for us to exist, for me to exist and you to exist, everyone going back to the beginning of time had to have born a child. They had to be able to bear a child, and so on and so on and so on, until you popped into the world, till I popped into the world. Now that's a hell of a lot of sequences of events that had to align for us to be here. So, not only is life short, but it's also an incredible fluke. So like all great flukes, like all good turns of fortune, the question becomes, okay, now that I have this good fortune, what should I do with it? And I think our number one objective is to enjoy our life. I really do. The people I admire and respect most are the ones who have figured this out. And I'm not talking at the expense of others, because selfishness and narcissism are not the path to happiness, certainly not in my book. I mean enjoying your life whilst serving others, whilst being generous with others, not at the expense of others, but setting personal happiness as an important objective. So, if taking photos that make us happy are important, what kind of photos make me happy? Well, like my music, my tastes are diverse. I grew up with Black Sabbath, ELO, Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, ABBA, Barry Manilow, classical music, the whole lot. And same with photography. I love all genres of photography, providing they do at least one of three things. For me, if I take a photo and I'm pleased with it, it's usually because it's very clear in the image what my subject is, what I intended the viewer to see. The second is that it has pleasing balance to it, or it is clearly unbalanced and it's obvious that it's intentional and it works. And the third is that it creates some kind of emotional response. If it can do one of those three things, then it appeals to me. I'm happy with it. It's easy to think that there are thousands of invisible judges out there, especially now thanks to social media, that their opinions matter. They don't. that there are hard and fast rules that we must follow in order to be seen to be doing things the right way. For the most part, not true. If following rules, if seeking to please others, to draw happiness from acknowledgement, is what drives your decisions, is what moves you forward, then you're going to be chasing your tail forever. You see, time is our most valuable, precious and non-renewable resource. My time at some point will end, as will yours. I don't know when it will be, and neither do you. So it's incumbent on us, on me and on you, to really live it on our terms, to do whatever interests us, pursue whatever makes us happy in the way that we want to do it. And I'm not just talking about the photos that you take, I'm talking about, how you pursue them, where you shoot, when you shoot, why you go out there, and how you choose to do it. It's entirely up to you. Once you really understand this, you will get so much more joy out of your photography, because all of those unspoken rules, or spoken rules, depending on how much you pay attention to other people's opinions, all of those will fade away, and you'll get back to the pure, simple, almost childlike joy of just going out in nature, holding a camera in your hand, and seeing what you see, and capturing it the way you want to capture it. You see, at the end of the day, the one person that you really must answer to, and me too, is the one staring back at us in the mirror, even if you don't recognise them first thing in the morning. Because when we're in hospital with tubes hanging out of us, gasping our last, we need to ask, who's going to be there? For me, I know it would be immediate family, so my kids especially, their opinion of me probably matters most. And then my wife and my parents. Beyond that, not much else. My sister, of course. Ultimately, though, you need to answer to an audience of one, yourself. So take photos that make you happy, however that looks. Anyway, that's enough for me. I think I might take some photos. Thanks for hanging out with me again. I enjoy your company, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.